The next boar here is Behind the Scenes, a Hampshire boar that we acquired this summer from Sherritt Family Farms. He is a boar that was originally raised by John Veach and is a full brother to Chatter. He is a coming home, stop the madness. Last summer, actually a couple of my favorite gilts that I saw all across any place that we went and saw Hampshires last summer. Two of my favorite gilts I saw all summer were sired by Behind the Scenes. The Ochterman family had a gilt that was in the top 5 or 6 overall of the bred and owned at the summer conference junior gilt show, and then the 3rd overall gilt at the Ohio State Fair last year was one of the gilts that I actually approached a kid after the show and tried to buy that was sired by Behind the Scenes. Those hogs were just so good in their basic build and correctness and function and body and just correctness of joints and skeleton. This boar here is a very impressive mature boar, and I did approach and talk to Doc Sherritt about trying to get this boar. And they did allow us to get him out of there because he is kind of a difficult boar to handle at times. He is kind of an aggressive kind of Hampshire boar, which I think is good for the sake of making females and knowing that hormonally he's going to be very good for doing those kind of things. But he is a fairly aggressive Hampshire boar, so we were able to get him out of there and be able to keep him here with our staff to be able to manage his temperament. This hog is one that, as we have had him here longer, the more impressive he is and the more impressed you are with him because of this hog's toes and skeleton, his pattern, his comfort, his looseness. He really, I know this is going to be somewhat of an outdated kind of comparison to some people, but this hog hits me a lot as a mature boar like the Judge did at this age. Really loose, really pliable, really comfortable. Loose spine, loose hip, loose hock, great toes. Looks like one that needs to be used to make some elite Hampshire females, and has the design and correctness of pattern to be able to use on some of those more extreme ones to make Hampshire barrows as well. I think he's a very versatile one. It's got a world of breeding value. He's proven in our part of the world where I've gotten to see some of those high-end gilts that have been sired by him. It's been a small sample size that I've seen, but I know that there's a very high ceiling for what this hog can accomplish.
When this one hit the grass today, it was just kind of lights out, I guess, for me. And you see that one standing in the pen, and you're impressed. But then when you get him on that profile, it is just it's totally different level. And the first thing that comes to mind is, man, I want Hampshire females to look like that with that elevation and proportions and, like Mike said, looseness of skeleton. But as we got chattering today about him and just kind of, enjoying the ability to look at him, we started talking like, why can't we talk that same kind of stereotype with Hampshire Bears that will then in turn feed, have longevity, be the kind that you can push, you can do what you want to do with them, and just be more practical. I think this hog can swing either way and do so very, very well with that added bone, added blade, and forearm that he possesses. And just you dig back into that pedigree. I mean, being a coming home and coming from that coming from the Veach herd. There's no need to any introduction to the kind of Hampshire boars that they make. This is one that when Mike told me that we were going to be able to get this one and promote him, I said, well, how many Hampshire sows can we get bred to him? Because I think that is the key to the future of this boar.